Happy Wednesday. This is episode number 14. Thank you so much for all the support. I can't believe it's already 3 months. We are about to go into month number 4, April, and I want to focus and talk about what has helped me in the past 3 months to maintain myself positive, productive, and with a lot of hope and I just feel like back to normal. Like I feel like the Junior from back in the day. And I want to share with you my routines, what I do on a day-to-day basis. Hopefully this helps you and hopefully you can adopt a few of the things that I do because it's been a game changer for me. When I first wake up, the first thing that I do after I brush my teeth and all that, of course I get dressed and I get ready for work, but I don't leave the house until I do my morning routine, which consists of I have two books that I'm currently reading. One is in English and one is in Spanish. And what I do is I sit and I read a little bit about of each book, and I don't allow myself to really think of the future. I stay in that present, and I read maybe a paragraph or two in the morning, and if I do have plenty of time, I will read a little bit more, like a whole page. But what I do is I highlight things that resonate, and I focus on that sentence or two, and I try to apply it to my day to day, and I try to dissect that sentence and see what it means to me, if it makes sense to me. And that's the one thing that I do with both books, English and Spanish. And then I start writing down my affirmations, and I, I I already have some. And what I do is I read over them, and then after I read over them, I do have a journal where I begin to write to my future me, and I kind of check up on him, see how he's doing, and where I want him to be, and remind him how badass he is, how great he is. And then from there I begin to write a little bit about, like, gratitude, what I'm grateful for, something simple like, I'm grateful for my job, grateful for my family, grateful for the connection that I had with someone during the day, grateful for the conversation that I had during the day. um, these things keep me grounded and remind me where I am. um, I really don't focus on what I don't have. And then of course, I look over my goals that I have for the year, things that I want to accomplish, things that I want to change. And this is all happening before I even step out of the house. So by the time I leave the house and head for work, I have already gone through all that. I um i'm already present and know exactly what I want for that day. And I remind myself that it's a brand new day, it's a blank page, so it's up to me what I write on it. On the way to work, for the most part, I'm listening to a podcast. Um, Mondays and Wednesdays, for the most part, is Chiquis and Chill, and I love her. She gives a lot of really good messages. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm listening to Se Regalan Dudas. It's two girls from Guadalajara, and they helped me throughout 2022. So I listen to them on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and every single day they have a podcast that is about 5 minutes long, and that's the first thing that I listen to whenever I wake up. Like whenever I wake up and I'm in the restroom brushing my teeth, iron my clothes, that's the podcast that I listen to. It's only 5 minutes. It's kind of like a wake up positive little message, and I love it. So by the time I get to the office, I go straight to get my coffee, and I usually interact with my coworkers. There's going to be moments where some coworkers are not fully awake, so I respect that. And if I don't get anything back from them, it's cool. They're not awake yet, so they go about their day, and I try to connect with individuals that are already at my frequency, positive, ready to start the day, and I feed from that, and I know that they feed from me as well. So after we interact and we talk a little bit and drink our coffee, I get to my desk and I start writing down things that I need to accomplish that day. And it's great because every single time that I begin to complete a task, I scratch it off and it makes me feel like I'm doing something, like I'm completing something. So that helps me a lot. After working, I make sure that whenever lunchtime comes, I step away from my desk. I try not to eat on my like at my desk. I step away. I go to the break room, and for the most part, I try to connect with positive people because that's a time that we can talk about things that are not related to work. And like I say, if there's four people around you and they're all negative and they're just talking about how miserable life is, it's going to be a little bit difficult for you as just one person to make them look and feel make them change what they're feeling at that moment. It's not impossible, but it is going to be a little bit more difficult. So to avoid all that, what I discovered that works for me is just surround myself with people that are on my same frequency, and we bounce off, and it's great. So by the time I get back to my desk, I'm still ready and I'm still with the energy to complete the day. And then maybe like an hour later, what I do is I prepare myself a tea, whatever tea you want, and it I realize that it helps me kind of like continue to finish the rest of my day. So by the time I am done with my day and I'm driving back home, for the most part, I'm listening to something like very upbeat because I know that by the time I get home, I'm gonna work out. And what I do whenever I'm driving, before I even take off from work, I try to leave my area clean and I try to leave everything in place ready for me for the following day because I want to get back to the office and feel that I have everything organized. Maybe if you look at my desk, you might think that it's all messy, but for me, it's perfect. Like I know where everything's at. So then after I get home, the first thing that I do is I eat something. And I realize if I eat and I sit down, it's going to be very difficult for me to get up and do anything. So there's moments where I do allow myself to eat something and sit down and watch a little bit of TV with the family. But for the most part, I tell myself, okay, you have until this time, and now you have to get up and do something. So I either go to the gym, go to the park, or work out in the backyard. I've been going to the trail and I've been walking around 3 to 4 miles, and that has been very good for me. It makes me feel really good. And normally I'm listening to something on. Normally, what I've been doing, whatever I was trying to watch on TV, I some people on TikTok actually broadcast it, so I listen to it while I'm walking. So that's even perfect. I'm not missing anything. And then whenever I finish my workout, I get back to the house and instead of eating, because whenever you work out, after you work out, you are so hungry and you just want to eat everything. Well, I don't try to sabotage myself. So what I do is I pretty much kind of like drink a simple shake like this, and that makes me feel good. And then after that, I shower. After I shower, I do give myself time to whoever's awake. In the house we talk. We kind of like connect for a while, and then after that I begin to prepare myself to go to bed. And whenever I'm preparing myself to go to bed, I usually put things in my hair like rosemary cream with mint, really refreshing. And then I put things in my face, brush my teeth, and then I in the background I'm playing the rosary. The rosary brings me a lot of peace. It reminds me a lot of my grandma. I don't know how to do it on my own, so I play it on YouTube, and it gives me a lot of peace. It calms me down, and I've been drinking teas at night as well, so that helps me a lot too. And by the time I go to bed, I may lay there for a bit. I do some breathing exercises, and then I crash out and I doze off and I sleep really good. Normally, I sleep around 8 hours, so it's really good. And whenever if I can't fall asleep, I do take that time to kind of look over my day and kind of pinpoint little moments where maybe I know that I need to work on something. I didn't like how I reacted. I didn't like how I took something personal. I talk to myself, and I kind of begin to understand where I need to focus on. And one thing for me has been always that I want to solve problems. I want to be the support for everyone. And I feel that that's always going to be in me, and I will always try to do that. But I have discovered that I have to be very respectful for everyone's individual journey. Not everyone is ready to be at your frequency, and it's not a bad thing. It's just you're in a different part of your journey, and I know that I need to work on that. So it's been a lot of stepping away, keeping my mouth shut, and only giving advice or suggestions if someone's asking for them. Um, I tend to want to create this environment where I want for you to feel at home. I want for you to be positive. I want for you to feel like you're safe. And I've discovered that a lot of the times, not everybody wants to accept that, and not everyone takes that the right way. And so it's been really crazy for me to realize that. So I do try my best to be mindful now and kind of step away and focus on me. Like, okay, you have all these advices that you want to give everyone. How about you just apply it to yourself? And so that's something that I've been trying to do. I hope that I hope I can see a difference in the long run, because right now I do feel like I still want to be there and help and butt in and say whatever I feel like it needs to be said. But I need to respect people's journey. So that's one thing that I am working on. Another thing is that I before would simply accept being around individuals that had a different view of things, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But if and let me just use an example. If someone is always negative, if someone is always like um, not kind to people, I mean, you don't need to be there. Like, I can still respect you as a person for your opinions and what you believe in and all that, but I don't have to be there by your side. So I've I'm learning how to like say no at times, and I'm learning how to step away from situations that don't resonate with who I am. And I've also like I mentioned, I'm not perfect. I'm not a saint. So there's moments where I've been the one maybe that has said something negative about someone, or um, has talked about someone. I think we all tend to do things like that. So whenever I notice it, I try to ask myself, where's that all coming from? Because a lot of the times people reflect to you things that you need to work on yourself. So I try to be mindful and have that time to kind of dissect what I'm feeling. And ultimately, I know that it comes from a good place whenever I interact with individuals. It's never my intention to hurt anyone. It's never my intention to I want everybody to feel good, to feel safe, and to feel at home when they are around me. And so it's something that I'm working on, but I can tell you that everything else that I do on a daily basis, my routines, my list, and the books that I read have truly helped me these past 3 months, and I'm gonna continue to do it for the rest of the month. I This was like the first time that I actually do something so hardcore, as far as like reading two books and writing down my affirmations and my goals and um, my gratitude and all that, my journal. So I promise you that before I step out of the house, I have to do that. Like, I don't allow myself to walk out without doing that. in the past 3 months, maybe I've done that once or twice where I actually just leave everything there, and I leave because I'm running late and I have to be there at whatever time. But for the most part, I make sure that I finish that first. And I do whenever, and there's a moment in the day where I do try to connect with God, the universe, the Holy Spirit, whoever you want to connect with. I do connect, and I um, remind myself who I am and where I am at, and uh, I ask for guidance and I ask for um, peace within me, and I try to ask myself more things to learn more about me. And I've discovered that it's something that I will always do. Like, it's on a daily basis. I'm going to be working on myself. It's not something that I'm going to reach an end point and that's it. Like, no, this is something that you work on for the rest of your life. And I love the idea and I love the concept, because the last thing that I want to do is feel or have a feeling where, oh, I'm done, I already know everything. No, I don't want to ever feel like that. I always want to have the curiosity and the eagerness to learn more and know more. These are a few things that I do for myself on a daily basis. I hope that you can pick a few that could possibly work for you. Please understand that only you can do for you. Um, no one's gonna come and help you. Some of us do get lucky, and there's always an angel on the road, and we do get receive help. But for the most part, for knowing yourself and finding yourself and um, building yourself up, it really comes from you. It's not something that you can delegate to anyone else. So I invite you to do take a first step, take two steps, but do whatever you can for you, and know that you have your own back. I know at times we may feel lonely and we feel like we're alone, and um, no one is there, but you have yourself. You'll be good. So thank you so much for the support. I will talk to y'all next week. I hope y'all have a phenomenal Wednesday.